thanks for checking out today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/darthjacen. Links for this and our Patreon will be in the description below. Hope you enjoy. How's it going, everybody? Here with Mono Red Aggro and Pioneer. Very fun deck, but this isn't your normal Mono Red Aggro. This isn't your low to the ground burn style per se. This is a little bit more in the direction of the bigger red decks of old. Not quite Glorybringer big, but still just that one shade bigger. Let's start with the land base, very clean cut. We got 3 Den of the Bugbears. And you'll notice 24 lands. So you already can tell we're going a little bigger here, but 3 Den of the Bugbears, 4 Raymond Ruins to get those last couple points in, and fill up the rest with mountains. Pretty straightforward, but Den, probably one of the best creature lands in Pioneer. Alright, moving on to the spells. You got 4 Play with Fire, since Midnight Hunt. Absolutely a staple of the format. Great card, upgrade to shock in all ways. Soulscar Mage, staple in every aggro red deck, pretty much since it's been printed. Not much to say here other than, again, having a lot of nice synergies with cards in the deck that deal damage to creatures, as well as prowess, always nice. 1 Spikefield Hazard. There's a lot of elves running around right now. Nice to have an extra answer. Plus, a 25th land is pretty good as well. 4 Lightning Strikes. Just one of the cleanest, most efficient 2-mana answers for Eidolon of the Great Revels. Again, if you just looked at these 17 cards, you'd go, okay, this feels a lot like a normal red burn deck in Pioneer. Nothing too wild. I mean, you're playing Lightning Strikes over the Wizards package, but okay, we're still feeling it. Now we're playing some Bone Crusher Giants. Well, okay. Still a pretty common staple in every deck that can run it since it's been printed. But then we hit 4 Rampaging Ferocidon. Now, there's a lot of life gain in Pioneer, a lot of it incidental, but some of it very big parts of decks right now. And being able to turn that off, as well as having incidental damage. If just you play a bunch of creatures, or you play tokens, you play blockers, you take damage. Menace, very powerful. This card got banned in Standard. Underrated card in Pioneer. I think it has a lot of potential. Goblin Chain Whirler, again, some classic pairings with Soulscar Mage. You get to Wrath their board, or put -1/-1 counters, or just have a 3/3 first strike. Again, we're playing our 3-drop slot is one of the most ubiquitous cards when it was printed, a card that got banned in Standard, and one of the most ubiquitous cards ever printed in its Standard format. As you can see, the power level of this deck is very high. We move to our 4-drops, we got Chandra Torch of Defiance, another huge hitter, one of the best Planeswalkers printed in red. She works really well as a way to clear the path for these 3-drops. She lets you ramp if you need to double spell in a turn, and her emblem's unbeatable. So, absolutely something this deck wants for sure. And the plus is not bad. Again, you're heavy on land, so just getting free shock's never bad. And then you have Torbran. The top end of the old mono red deck in Standard comes back again, and as you'll notice, burn spell. Red creature, but you know, if we assume that all red creatures are approximately okay, right? Well, another burn spell has incidental burn, can go upstairs, has incidental burn, can go upstairs. Every card that you play other than Soulscar Mage can go upstairs. And again, Den of the Bugbear, both it and the Goblin are red. All of these cards are almost impossible to deal with if you land a Torbran. So the benefit of Torbran is that it doesn't need to attack, it doesn't need to survive a turn, it really just needs to enter the battlefield. And then your whole battlefield is huge. In the mid game, you can play Torbran, hold up your burn spell, and just kill them. Or in the late game, you just set up a situation where they have to answer your Torbran or your Chandra, or your Torbrand, or your Ferocidon. You just add that one extra layer of difficulty for them to manage the whole board. So post-board, there's a lot of recursive threats, small threats. Again, you're going to run into elves, you're going to run into little recursive black creatures out of mono black aggro, things like that. So Magma Spray, not a bad call. Spirits, anything like that. Red Cat melee, good in the mirror, good against burn, good against Winota. Again, you're playing on enough lands that if you need to kill a chariot, okay. Get rid of a land, it's fine. But being able to kill a Winota for 1 mana, very important in that kind of matchup. A Braid, classic all-around answer. You need more removal, you need to answer a troublesome artifact, all good. Lava Coil, again, 4 toughness is a hard breakpoint. We have 2 damage, 3 damage, 1 damage, 2 damage, 1 damage, 4 damage, but it's a 4-drop. You have creatures you need to get out of the way, or that specifically need to be exiled. Again, Lava Coil is your answer. Rolling Vortex, probably one of the most underrated powerful cards in Pioneer, for sure. Both halves of it, the 1 damage per turn, and the if no mana was cast on it, comes up often in Pioneer. Bring to Light, Fires of Invention. These cards will just take 5 and kill your opponent most times. And then you have the optional to turn off life gain. A lot of the burn decks play 4 Rolling Vortex as your Skullcrack effect. We get to run 8 post-board. That's really hard for decks to beat, especially if they have to have their life gain resolve against you. It's very difficult if you have 8 answers. Leyline of Combustion is an interesting one. I've seen it around before. It's been in Standard before. Yeah, if your opponent's playing a 1-for-1 style deck where it's just like you put down a Leyline and now they have a hard time answering your threats, so every threat comes with a shock attached to it, and again, you're already playing a lot of things that have instant all burn, it's fine. A lot of the removal in Pioneer is less targeted right now. It's more like Wrath-based, or you're fine with it, right? If they're trying to 1-for-1 you, you have a lot of stuff that just will get incidental damage and then it dies. Like if your Eidolon gets 4 damage in, it was worth more than a card type situation. So Leyline is an interesting one. I'm not sure I love it, but if we do see decks like Mono Black or things like that that want to target our hand, target our creatures, or burn mirrors, great. Now all of their things hurt them. You put an Eidolon down and they have to kill something. It costs them 4 life. It's just good in matchups where you're going to be trading resources back and forth while they target you. So again, this isn't the same mono red deck that a lot of people are used to. You are going a little bigger. You are sort of getting what points you can, but then you're just leveraging a good mid game with burn spells off the top, and you're okay if the game goes a little deeper. Obviously, you still want to apply pressure, but you have a lot better mid game, and I think this is a very strong deck in Pioneer. It's been 5-0ing a lot lately. It's been 4-0ing in prelims. I think it's one of those decks that there's still probably a little bit of tuning to be done. You know, you have a couple flex spots. You're playing a lot of 4s. So, like, this is a flex spot. Is 24 lands the correct amount? Is this Magma Spray good? Is the sideboard good? Ley lines? You have a lot to tweak with, but I think this is a deck that has a lot of promise. I'm very excited to take it for a spin. So, without further ado, let's get to round number 1. All right, here we are, round number 1 of Mono Red Aggro. Well, this hand's fire, so absolutely going to keep this. I'm really curious to see how Torbran feels. Torbran. It was amazing in Standard. We look like a Luris deck, but we're not. And they look like a Luris deck, but they're not. Interesting. I'm going to just lead with an Eidolon. We're playing Mono Black. We are. Draw a land. I might just slam Bone Crusher. They're gonna attack, and then we get to attack for 1,000,000 on the crackback. Oh, well, one Thoughtseize isn't gonna do it, friend. Do they have a second one just ready? Get Torbran down. I'm just gonna pass. We already have removal for one of them. Yeah, this steals 4. Breach spell, so they lose a life down to 7. Does that much plus 2 is 5. So they're at virtual 2. They're locked under Eidolon, they just don't know it yet. Well, that was sick. This is vampires. So we definitely want coils, vortexes. Don't mind these, don't mind these. So for vampires, we don't need the 2 damage spells as much. Frostodon's great. Chainwhirler's okay. We don't want the abrades, the coils. Strikes are fine. Eidolons are okay, but I actually don't think we need those. All of these are good. I think Bone Crusher might actually be kind of medium. I don't think 2 damage is great. Having 8 ways to stop life gain with a deck like this with Vortex and Ferostodon's pretty great. This hand's great. Yo, I like this deck a lot. Reminds me of the big red decks from Standard, but like, you just get all the best pieces of all of them. Like, you get the Soulscar Chainwhirler combo. That's fine. Vortex is nice. This also blocks here if they don't have removal for it. I'm gonna block, so. Yeah, definitely want to just get this down. I'll get in for 2. I mean, if they want to Stone Rain themselves, that's fine. Excuse me? I was kidding. There's no way, right? Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's not what I was expecting, but okay. We'll take 1. Yeah. I get Frostodon down, because then I can play Soulscar plus Chainwhirler or get Torbrand first and then do that. Yeah, we'll take it. Okay. Get in there for 5, deal 3 on upkeep. Yeah, the fact that it's only deals to an opponent is pretty tough with Torbrand. Yeah. I'll take 1. Soulscar. Chainwhirler. Yeah. Pretty easy. Damn, that felt great. Alright, on to round number 2. Let's go. Alright. Back here for round number 2 with mono red. I don't mind this hand at all. Turn 2 interaction. They didn't show us a companion. Oh, it's Winota. Okay, well. Need to draw something. On the play, this would have been stronger because we get to kill this. Now we have to be careful about what they play on 2. Tovlar. Kind of a nightmare. Insofar as we can't kill it. Unless we draw like a lightning strike. Another Chandra, huh? Alright, well, kill this. They get to draw a card. Shocking first. Interesting. Can't be another Tovlar. Not really sure what it would be for 3 mana. No, Ranger class, that's fine. Not great for us, but fine. We take 3. Draw a card. We'll play Bone Crusher, and then hopefully get to Chandra down this. Another elf. Alright, so now we're gonna die if they have Winota. Yeah, Eidolon's not a great card in this kind of matchup on the draw. On the play, it's fine. On the draw, definitely not great. We just can't afford to be on the back foot. And if this is a Brutal Cathar, yeah, we're kind of doomed. I mean, we're going to take some damage. We get to Chandra kill the Cathar. Take 6, down to 11. They draw 2 is the bigger problem, to be honest. Yep. This is the mid-range side of Winota looking its best. Alright, Chandra up. This stops that from flipping. We get Bone Crusher back. We'll trade with anything here. This is trade, Chandra minus. Then we're like at least at parity, 5 cards apiece, but our cards are kind of mediocre on this board. So we'll see how it goes, but they've managed to take a lot of damage from their lands, just kind of them. Combat to a player only. Okay, so this one's coming at Chandra, this one's coming at us. Yeah. Easy trade with Tovolar here. The next Chandra can deal with that if we need to. What do they have? I mean, a Chariot here is pretty hard to beat. Huntmaster also notoriously hard to beat. Let's just level up Chariot, yeah. Yeah, I think we might have just fallen too far behind. Goose too, sure. Yeah, I don't think we quite have any outs. Ferocodon's an interesting one because it might just kill them in combat. But yeah, that's not going to do much for us. So we want Lava Coils, Abrades, want Red Cap Melees. Okay. Things we don't really want. We want these. Like I said, I don't think we really want these. Full Scar's fine. Play with Fire is okay. Looking at our curve here, I think Chandra is pretty mediocre. I like the Ferocodons. I like basically all the removal. You can trim down on these. Play with Fire doesn't hit any of the relevant cards other than Brutal Cathar, but we really just want to max out on 3 damage removal. 3 and 4. Try to save the Abrades for Chariots. Try to save the Red Cat Melees for Winotas. And so close to being good. Alright, this hand's great. We can put away the Spikefield Hazard. We'll have a Play with Fire off the den. Yep. Elf dies. Yeah, gotta try and restrict them as best we can. Oh, another Play with Fire is not bad. In case I have a Ranger class here. Well, that's just gonna get swept up. Thanks, Chrome. I'm not gonna use this. Yeah, no point sweeping that any other way. The Soulscar or Play with Fire combo is pretty good. Alright, they're in a shock. Is this a Chariot? Skyclave. Alright, well. We get a 3/3 off the deal. Isn't too bad. For us, I'm gonna hold up Play with Fire in case they slam a Winota. Oh, this will be nice if they just attack in. I mean, maybe they just don't, but they're smart. Seems like they're considering it. Played well enough again around it. Get in for 6. Threaten them pretty aggressively here. They get trade with the den if it give us a 3/3, or they eat the 1/1, go to 8. And then again, we still have another den activation and a Raminaps. They're gonna take it. Is this just like slam Winota? Try and kill us? Like, you're going to 6 off this Winota. 5 if you hit a creature. If they hit Huntmaster, they go to like 3. It's not great for them. Like, Huntmaster's a bad look here. Yeah. Alright, well, I think that's just what we gotta run back. One of the first decks where I don't feel like just an absolute dog to Winota, but it's still tough. Alright. We're going to be a little bit behind, but if we can kill their 3-drop or their 2-drop and then use Chain Whirler to clean stuff up. And then we have Chandra to try and catch a Winota. No, they have a 1-drop. So we need to find play with fire here. Strike. Not quite it. Alright, well, as long as they play something we can answer cleanly, it's not as bad. If they play a Innkeeper, okay, well, that's fine. It's awkward because they could just take the Chain Whirler now, but that's fine. There's an above average chance we just kill the elf, leave the Spellbinder, and we'll get to it when we get to it. Yeah. Chain Whirler is a disaster for them here. That's... Frostodon's not bad. I'll take my lumps. I want to try and mitigate their ability to get ahead. It's a little gooser. Another elf. Alright, well, Chain Whirler's still my best draw. Chain Whirler would be great. Otherwise... I'm going to play Frostodon. It punishes the Winota if they just slam it, because they have to tap all their resources, and then we just kill it. They don't even get an activation, because this is a human. Brutal Cathar is fine. Might just Chandra plus Lava Coil. Ooh, Soul Scar is a good one too. I think I am just gonna Chandra plus though. Now, if they don't cast anything too impressive here, we just have the Chain Whirler. And if we're really concerned too, we can plus mana on Chandra. The Soul Scar plus Chain Whirler. Yeah, this will go Chandra. Add my mana here. I'll take my lumps. Yeah, this is a nice little 3-for-1. Plus puts a counter on the goose. Yeah, we're threatening a real quick clock here. Currently 8 damage on board. Alright, they found a land. They could just play a Winota, try to get 1 attack in. The bird has -1 power, so whatever they're attacking with has to be. Ovlar does not do much on this board. We can just kill Tovlar if we want, but not a huge incentive. Yeah, especially now. See what's on top. Okay, well that's rude. Get in there. Bone Crusher also would have been pretty solid, but yeah, Torbrand just absolutely ends the game. Yeah, these both will just eat your creatures and then you take 10. I don't think the opponent has correctly read Torbrand. Alright. Got the win against Winota. They got a little stuck on mana, but we were able to mitigate their draw a little bit. Frostodon, Chain Whirler, very strong. Chandra actually pulled some weight there. So 2-0, good start. On to round number 3. Alright, here for round number 3. We're on the play. Hand's close, but not quite. This hand's much better. So Eidolon's good where it's good, but it's pretty mediocre where it's not. I'd rather split our threats and just have some burn / removal. They didn't show us any companions, so we can't really go off of that. Oh, if it's blue-white control, then all of these threats are not great. Den's actually probably the best card we've drawn against blue-white control. Hope to just get in damage where we can. Oh, the Field of Ruin's gonna be a pain. Get in for 2. Even if it gets censored, I think we have to run into it a little bit. Could just wait and lightning strike them, but I think we want to apply pressure so that they have to Wrath. I mean, instead of getting 1 damage or potentially attack it, and we got 2 damage in by making them have to censor there. Eidolon got 6 damage in. Can't be too mad about that. I'm gonna crack this. If they Field of Ruin, we can Lightning Strike, but I think we want to try and hit our land drops here. Also think I'm just gonna fire off a Lightning Strike now, while they have no ability to absorb it. I want to wait till we have more mana to do this. So I'm just going to pass. See what they're up to. Gonna Ruins now. So I'm at 9. Again, we have them at virtual 3 here. We just wanna sit. Eventually we'll draw more removal. Look how they went to second main to do this. Interesting choice. I think they had just passed. Scared specifically. I'm gonna try and kill this. I think I'm just gonna play Bone Crusher Giant. If they target it, it's 2 damage. And I feel like if they're holding up that, they're holding up Censor or Veto. I just don't want to walk into it. Cast Verdict. Alright. They're holding up Absorb, which is kind of a problem. And play Torbrand. If it gets absorbed, it's a problem, but if it just gets played around Censor. Dig Through Time. Well, if we had the play with fire, they'd just be dead. So that'd be nice. I really did not expect that to resolve, to be honest. Hope they just plan to like Shark Typhoon it and let us untap. So I'm gonna just hold up 2 bolts. Oh. Okay. Well, if this hits, that's 4, so both of these would be lethal. If we get to attack, they're in... if we get to attack, they're just dead. So, get in there, Torbrand. Upstairs. Do it again. Okay. Stole that one. Get these in here, get these vortexes in here. Don't really want any of those. Other things we don't really want include... We want these, we want these, we want these. Frostons are fine. Chain Whirlers are kind of trash. Probably cut 1 Torbrand. Or a Spike Field Hazard. Alright, well this hand's great. Does everything we want. 1 drop into 2 drop into 2 drop. Get on the board quick, apply a lot of pressure. The Vortex will be important because of Sunset Revelry and other cards they probably board in. Blast Zone. Well, okay. Need to be careful of Censor here. There's a chance I'm just gonna attack. Really just not in a rush. Don't need to play into Censor here. Yeah, put that one on top. Get in for 4. Their mana's a little awkward. Probably gonna... Okay, Cycle's fine. I was gonna say they're probably gonna opt, but Cycle is a lot less beneficial. Oh, their mana base is terrible right now, huh? Can't even Field of Ruin us? Yikes for them. They can move this Blast Zone up. I am gonna just slam an Idol on here. Play around Censor. Okay, I'm just gonna get in. Sort of auto-resolved, but put that on top. It's a spell we can cast. I should have, if I was gonna do that, I should have done it with this on the stack so I didn't lose the extra 2, but... Oh, the Soul Scar has now gotten in for 4 damage, so that's the minimum required amount we want from our creatures. They can't Verdict us. Okay. Have to be careful of, again, Censor, so I'm just gonna play this Vortex here. Get in for another 2. We can always end step Bone Crusher them. Because again, they kind of need to do stuff. They can't just let us sit here. Now they're at 7, which is virtual 5 of the Bone Crusher resolves. And then again, Tension Sphere, sure. And after the Vortex, sure. Yeah, it's a little sad. Could have prevented the life gain there, but I think we're rather... Oh, so close. All right, if we draw a land, though, we can do both. This... Maybe we are just supposed to do this. It prevents 4 life. But also stops us from drawing a card. I think the card's worth more there. Maybe it's close. It's close enough that we're just supposed to do it anyway. No actual planes for the castle is kind of funny. I'll play our land first. If they go to 7. Even though we could pump this, I think we just want to ship in for 3 here. They have to double block to interact anyway. We don't want to overcommit to this board. We have a bunch of different threats coming at them here. Blast Zone, they sacked a land to kill Soul Scars, interesting there. Not sure what the benefit of that is. Okay, there's the Vantress. I'll fire off a Stomp. See what they've got going on about that. Because this threatens lethal if they don't do anything. Thorp's fine. Can't gain life. And it's +1 damage to cast this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I'm just gonna play the second Ferostodon. They have to deal with the Ferostodon and the Chandra. Like, the only way they do it is Verdict plus D-Sphere. Exactly. They could do that. Then I play the second one, but... Alright, we got him dead. feel like we kind of stole game 1 a little, but game 2 definitely felt in our favor. Deck feels fantastic so far. Does all the things Big Red used to get to do, where you get to apply for pressure and then sit behind your Planeswalkers. So really enjoying it so far. On to round number 4. All right, here we are for round number 4. We're on the draw. Not too bad. Not like a lot of low to the ground aggro decks where we actually obviously want to be on the play, but we have a little bit more traction to be on the draw. Against a Yorion deck, this hand kind of does nothing. Hand's a lot better. Put away Chain Whirler. There's no guarantee what kind of Yorion deck it is, but most of them are not going to be dying to Chain Whirler. I haven't run into too many Yorion decks of late, but it could just be a solid Yorion control deck. Sure. Not quite sure what they are yet. 2 to the bottom. Interesting. Oh, are they... Oh, I think they're creativity. Okay, if they are Indomitable creativity, we have to get Ferociton down. Because then if they try to Splinter Twin us, they die. So that would be a good outcome for us. This also stops the gain life, which isn't bad for us. Nahiri. Alright, well. Put Nahiri to 1. That way I can't, that's... I know it's not often a thing, but Menace. Alright, they figured it. I know Ferociton doesn't come up too often, but relevant exactly now. No life for you, friend. Alright, fires. For a Jeskai Fires deck. Oh, there's the verdict. Kill this. And play this. They forgot to plus their Nahiri, so we get to kill it for free. Not really sure if this is just like actual Jeskai Planeswalker stuff, but it could just be like get your yeah, it seems like it's just Jeskai Walkers, huh? Just get Yorion, reload the board. Yorion Fire is probably not the matchup we want to see, though Rolling Vortex will do a number on this deck. Ugh. I think we're pretty good to scoop it up here. Not a lot we could draw to get out of that one. Alright. So, play lines, vortexes. Things we don't really need are these Chain Whirlers. And Eidolon's a little medium. Alright. Leyline's the big one. Or sorry, not Leyline's, Rolling Vortex are the big ones here. Alright, we're on the play. Hard to turn down a hand that has a good curve like this. A little awkward because it's just like shock, play this. But we have a reasonable curve of just Bone Crusher, Bone Crusher, Bone Crusher time. Alright, Torbrand's not bad. I'm just gonna fire this off now. So I don't have any interaction for the first one. Hopefully we draw a land here so we can just Bone Crusher into Torbrand. Or just Chandra. Lightning Strike's fine. We'll just try and get down. Really need a land though, because we need to get to 4 to be effective with this hand. Omen, Narset. Well, Narset just trades for 4 damage, so that's kind of fine. Into the rocks, huh? No land. Go with Narset here. I'm gonna cast another Bone Crusher. We draw a land. This hits for 12. And then we just have lethal in hand, so I think it's worthwhile. I think we do want to force them to have exactly Verdict here. And, oh, fires into Verdict. It's even worse for us. I didn't just snap it off. Alright, fires into Chained is still bad, but better. Really need to draw a land. Alright, we miss, so we're just gonna play this and attack. Missing on land there's rough. I mean, again, if we draw a land and play Torbrand and they don't have anything impressive here, then we get in for 11. 7 in hand, but it's gonna take too long to deploy it. Like, if we can get one more hit in, then we have lethal in hand, but like it'll be tricky. Cycle's really good for us. Again, if we get in for one more hit, we just have lethal in hand, so see what they've got. It's not, I mean, cycle there means they don't get Yorion. But Yorion's not amazing, get me wrong, but alright, well, Nahiri, eat Bone Crusher is rough. Birth's fine. So we'd love to hit Chandra so we can Chandra to kill Nahiri here and not have to use mana or tempo. Alright, so we hit Chandra plus not that. Get in for 3. This enters is going to be 4, so they're down to 10. Down to a virtual 10 here. We have Chandra plus Ferocidon plus 5 points in hand. If we play Torbrand, it's 5 on Ferocidon, 4 on Chandra, so they get a virtual 1. Okay, they got a land. We're also close to turning on these ruins. Transmogrify, sure. Great. Yep. Now it's... Alright, well, 5. We have outs, they're very limited. They become more limited by the moment. Yeah, they're gonna take a land. Alright, we have an out. We're gonna play this. They can't interact, we have lethal. This is exactly 9 next turn. So we need them not to have interaction. They can even steal our land. 1 land, I guess, not 2, to be fair, but... Chandra... Oh. Yep. That counts as life gain. Alright, well, now we need one more thing. Could draw another Play with Fire. That's a massive Shark Typhoon. Okay, well, I just cast it. Just kind of sus. I think you just make a big shark, right? Do also cast another spell. Okay. Does casting Bone Crusher do anything? Does not. I'm just gonna pass. They're gonna gain 2 life up to 13. This is 9. Tap runes. Yeah, Ramming Amp is colorless, so it doesn't get the bonus off of Torbrand. We want to play with fire. Yeah. We're dead. That's all the spells they can cast. That's all fine. We need this play with fire to find a burn spell. Like a Chandra works. Play with fire. Bone Crusher. Play with fire is an additional 4. That works. It's also forgot to plus their Chandra. There we go. Okay. Game 3. Alright, based on what we saw, we play a Braid. Try and deal with the Transmogrify creatures. I don't think they're actually targeting our stuff very often, so I think I am just going to bring these in. If they go to Transmogrify like a wall or something, it's not a bad idea. I'm going to keep this. Once again, falls into that trap of being medium, but having Den, very good. We'd love to not flood out. Might throw this up stairs, see where that lands us. Just try and get any other lands off the top. Alright, we're gonna keep Torbrand. Den being red is actually pretty great, plus the token's red. Yeah, this is an Omen. Fire when ready. Chandra's a good one. Get our consistent damage down before Torbrand, Chandra stuff. Could be fires. Land fires is the scariest thing. Land nothing, huh? Could be an Omen, right? Alright, I'm gonna attack for 4. Come to 12. I really don't want to die to a Transmogrify here, so I'm just gonna pass. Like, if they just flash in an Omen, we can deal with that. And if they do nothing, we're fine. Cycle's fine. Like, we get to fire 4 damage at their face, and then we have another 4 on the attack. We can play land and make it 8. They don't do anything overly impressive. Alright, there's the fires. What's the big play here? Fires plus what? Fires plus Teferi? Okay. Upstairs. Not bad. Alright, we'll put 3 into them, kill Teferi. They get a 5, we have Den, another creature, Bone Crusher, Chandra. Alright, what do they have? Dark Typhoon. Alright, well, we're probably never getting in on the ground again. Definitely not getting in on the ground again. But that's fine. Now our goal is to just kill him with these, right? Like, they're at virtual 1. If we draw a land, we can put them to actual 1. They should put this to hand. They realized it. There you go. I'm gonna play Chandra here. Puts them to 1. Hopefully makes them have to spend their resources on dealing with Chandra, and then we can just kill them. They don't minus Chandra, or minus on Chandra. That's interesting. Maybe they have Land Agent Yorion. I could see that. Like Land Agent Yorion, blink everything out, play something else relevant. I mean, I'll take 5. Fine. Transmogrify, yeah. Agent's fine. Yep, Agent takes Chandra, Yorion blink everything, I guess. I'll just check in what they got going on here. All about the average stuff. Yep, Sky Noodle. Chandra hits a Yorion, sure. I think it could cast it. Oh, it hits Demons, sure. There's the Yorion effect going into... No, don't pay any costs. Okay, well, Nahiri's not going to do it. Their bird looks impressive, but we're just going to burn him out again. Fires. Everything comes back. Alright, we win. Because the fires will come back and then they can't cast instants. And even if they take a land, we're fine. Once again, we're going to win facing down an impossible battlefield. That's how it goes. We got our damage in early and often, and so it goes. Alright. 4-0. Love to see it. Deck feels great, as always. On to round number 5. See if we can close out this 5-0. Alright, here we are, back for round number 5. Going for the 5-0 with mono red. Yeah, this hand's great. On the play, we'll get Spikefield Hazard down. Oh, I guess we could play Den, hold up this. Play Den, hold up this. If they don't do anything, play it tapped on turn 2, but I think we just want to get this down. I think we're fine with that, and if we draw a 2-drop, we want to cast. Okay, well, here's a 2-drop we want to cast. I actually think I'm just gonna let this happen. I know it's gain 1 life, but we're not a traditional mono red deck. Well, this is a pain. Red's definitely a pain. I'll let this happen just because Chain Whirler wipes it out. I really don't want to have to throw a spell at it if we don't have to. Probably a terrible matchup, except for the fact that they don't really have a lot of ways to... Well, that's a problem. But they don't have a lot of ways to deal with a Torbrand. So this will get them dead very fast. Why didn't they just animate Mutavault and put the thing on while I'm tapped out? Like, that would've done a lot. I mean, I guess this does a lot too, right? They just go to 39 and we're dead, right? Well, not quite dead. Mostly dead. There for 5. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so we want our lava coils, we want a rolling vortex for sure. I really need this. Play with fires aren't great. Bone crushers can come out. Whirlers are fine. Eidolons are pretty good. And Trimon. Well, we do still need play with fires to deal with the Mutavault situation. Damage can't be revenged. It doesn't stop what we need it to stop. Excuse me. I'm gonna trim down like this. Yeah, this is a tough matchup. I feel like we had a pretty good... Alright, this hand's great. We had a pretty good shot game 1. But double bishop is really tough, especially with Exalted. With Exalted Deeds. Like, they could have just... Because we tapped out, they could have just slammed a... used the Mutavault to tap itself and then paid 3 white mana. And just, like, 100% killed us. That's fine. Now if they play, like, a bishop, we don't really care. Yeah, I'm gonna kill this. You can have your card. That's fine. Not thrilled about it, but I think we need to make sure they can't get too tall on us too quickly. Like, wait, what? Makes more sense. Whirler. Get in there. Collected company, sure. Can't gain life is a big one here. Okay, well, that's just gonna cost you some life. Yeah. Get in there. I'll let him draw a card to... If I attacked with this, have I changed anything on that? So this becomes a 1/1. This is also kind of tough. Yeah, maybe this wasn't a good attack. We're at 6. Or... Oh, I should have attacked with this. Still would have been short. Alright, I guess we're gonna have to do this. Yeah, that was probably a mistake to attack there with the Frosted on. Should have just gotten in with the Chain Whirler. Might cost us if they have virtually anything else. That's virtually anything else. Yeah. Yeah, that was... Damn. Didn't see the triple block, I should have. If I just leave that back... Yeah, we just win if I just leave that back. At least win that game. Game 3 is going to be tough there, but I really shouldn't have suicided that in. I just... -2/-2 wasn't quite enough, or if I attack with everything, I could play with fire, but then I'm still short. Damn. Tough to see a 4-0 go that way, but that's probably one of the nightmare matchups. For sure. But still think we could have played game 2 better there with the Frostodon at the end, and then maybe we get a game 3. But deck felt amazing. Really happy with it. Don't run into Life Gain Angels. That's a tough one. But otherwise, deck felt great. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time.